It started with a box. Jessica Malone, the lead news anchor for WHTV in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, had covered the missing children cases for months. One after another, children had vanished without a trace. No signs of struggle, no clues, just empty bedrooms and broken families left behind. The police had no leads, and the town was gripped with fear. Then, one cold October morning, a package arrived at the station's front desk. No return address, just her name scrawled across the top in black ink. Curious, she took it to her desk, carefully unwrapping the brown paper. Inside, nestled in a tangle of old newspaper clippings, were 6 VHS tapes. Each was labeled with a date in shaky handwriting, dates that matched the days the children had disappeared. Her stomach twisted. She wasn't sure what was more unsettling, the tapes themselves or the fact that someone had sent them directly to her. Against her better judgment, she took them home that night. The first tape. Jessica dusted off an old VCR she had stored away and popped in the first tape. The screen flickered with static before the footage stabilized. A grainy image of a dimly lit playground appeared. The timestamp in the corner read 11:47 p.m. The camera, shaky and uneven, moved toward a swing set where a small girl sat, gently rocking back and forth. Jessica's breath hitched. It was Emily Carter, the first child to disappear. The girl seemed to be humming softly to herself, her face oddly vacant. Then, something shifted in the shadows behind her. The camera zoomed in, revealing a tall, distorted figure lurking just beyond the reach of the street lamp's glow. Jessica's blood ran cold. The figure, if it was even human, had elongated limbs and an impossibly thin frame. It loomed over the girl, its face obscured by darkness. Then, the screen cut to static. Jessica yanked the tape out, her hands shaking. She didn't sleep that night. The other tapes. Over the next few nights, she watched the rest of them. Each tape showed a different child, each taken in a different location. A wooded trail, a suburban sidewalk, a quiet cul-de-sac. And each time, that thing was there, watching and waiting. But the final tape was the worst. The last tape. Unlike the others, this one had no timestamp. Jessica pressed play, and the screen revealed something horrifying. Her own living room. The footage was recent. The angle suggested someone had been inside her home, filming her without her knowledge. Jessica saw herself on the screen, sitting on her couch, watching the previous tapes. Her breath quickened. She hadn't noticed anything strange at the time, but as the camera zoomed in, her heart nearly stopped. Something was standing behind her. A towering, spindly figure, its head slightly tilted, its fingers twitching, watching. The screen cut to black. Then, in the silence, a final message appeared in flickering white text. "You're next." The VCR shut off. Jessica sat frozen, her pulse hammering in her ears. A sudden creak sounded from behind her. She wasn't alone.